What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be predicting game week 11 in the Premier League. Fulham against Manchester United, first game, 12:30 kickoff. I'm going with a 1-1. Last year Man United actually won at Craven Cottage, but they were very lucky. They were not the better team at all, and they got a very late winner for Alejandro Garnacho. They're in awful form right now. They got absolutely hammered by Newcastle in the Cup, hammered in the Manchester derby last week, and it's just not really looking good for them. Fulham have been a bit better than I actually thought they would be this season after losing Mitrovic. They're getting goals from other players, but they're not firing, and I think they will be the better side in the game, but I don't think they'll be able to take advantage of all their chances just because Jimenez isn't doing it. Brentford against West Ham, a London derby. I'm going with a bit of a controversial one here, but I'm going with 3-1 West Ham win. West Ham are going to be without Paqueta and Alvarez, both suspended, and that's huge for Brentford because they've both been really good this season. And although as of late Brentford have looked a lot better, they won last week at the Bridge, I still just think West Ham win. Maybe this is just because I don't like Brentford, I don't know. West Ham should be in good spirits after knocking Arsenal out of the Cup in midweek as well. So hopefully they can win. Even without Alvarez and Paqueta, they've still got Bowen, who's been really good, Kudus, who's looking really good as well. Since West Ham aren't really a front-footed team most of the time, I think their style could cause Brentford a lot of issues. Burnley against Crystal Palace, I'm going with a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be another game where Burnley play well and just can't win. Palace's defence is pretty solid. Burnley's attack isn't the most potent, so I can't see them scoring too many. I could see them scoring 2 at the most. I don't think they'll score any more than that. And Crystal Palace don't really have a good attack either, but Burnley concede a lot of chances. They make a lot of mistakes, and I can see them capitalising on one of them, maybe from a set piece even. But if Burnley are to stay up, this is the sort of game they do need to try and win because it isn't looking good for them so far. Everton against Brighton and Hove Albion, I'm going with a 2-2 draw. Everton have been a lot better than their results suggest. They won last week at the London Stadium and are pushing towards mid-table. And although home form hasn't been very good, I thought they've actually played really well, most of them. Brighton, however, are a team that like play on the front foot and, you know, attack. This means they score a lot of goals, but also means they concede a lot. And since Everton have been a bit better now, with Calvert-Lewin finding some fitness finally, Beto having settled pretty well as well, they've got threat up there. Harrison's looked good this season. The Corres look dangerous. They've got Onana, who's been really good in the midfield as well. I think this will be a good game. Obviously, Everton smashed Brighton last season, but that was away. This will actually be a poor result for Brighton on paper because they have not been very good in the last few weeks. They just keep dropping points. Manchester City against Bournemouth, I've gone with a 3-0 Man City win. I can see it being 4 or 5-0. I just think they'll chill out a little bit for some reason. I've just got that feeling. Bournemouth registered the first win of the season last week against Burnley. Obviously this is a much bigger test and they're away from home, so it's unlikely they'll actually be able to get anything. And Manchester City they're the best team in the world. This should be a comfortable win. Probably 3-0 up in the first half and then take off some of the players. I don't know, now that I say 3-0, I think that's actually quite low. I think it could genuinely be 4 or 5, and I probably should have predicted that, but I'm going to stick with the 3-0. I mean, I put a lot of faith in Bournemouth this season. I actually thought they were going to finish 11th, and so far that's just not looking like a good prediction. Sheffield United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Can Sheffield United get the first win of the season? I think they will. I'm going 2-1 to United. Just could be because of my hatred for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but I just don't think that Sheffield United can afford not to win here, especially with the fact that Neto probably isn't going to play. Hwang Yi-chan might not be as good without him, and they're at home. They have to get a win. You can't go this long without a win and still not win when you're at home to Wolves. You have to win here. If they don't win here, they actually might break Derby's points record, which would be quite something. Wolves have been a lot better this season than I thought they were going to be. Without Neto, they're going to be significantly worse, I think. Last season, they were dreadful, and this season they look better because he's been back in the side and they're playing better football. A massive game, Newcastle United against Arsenal. Unbeaten Arsenal, by the way, who won at St James's Park last season, one of just 2 teams to do that. I believe that Newcastle are going to win 3-2. I think this will be a really good game. I'm expecting a lot of action. Arsenal haven't been really consistent this season in terms of performances. They've been really consistent in terms of results. They've got some really good ones and they're unbeaten. They're second in the league. And Newcastle have been more inconsistent. They've had some really poor performances and then they've put in some absolutely world-class performances. They've got Champions League coming up as well, which could play a factor, especially considering Newcastle are not currently going through. and Arsenal should really be getting through their group. It's very easy. I just have a feeling, I feel like Newcastle are going to start the game really well. Arsenal aren't going to be able to live with them for parts of this game. Genuinely, I think they'll just overrun them, overwhelm them. With that being said though, Arsenal are a really good side and they'll have their chances as well. I'm expecting a good game. Hopefully it's not a boring game. Like, it'd be really disappointing if this is a 0-0 or 1-0 or something and it's just both of them doing nothing. But I don't think that'll happen. Not when Eddie Howe is managing a team. You know, he's the best manager in the world and he will get a win here. Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. I'm going with another very controversial result here in the Midlands derby. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Forest. This really doesn't make any sense, and I know that this sounds really stupid, but I just have a gut feeling that Nottingham Forest are going to win here. They haven't been good this season. They've thrown away a lot of points in games they shouldn't have, like at home against Luton. Villa have been really good this season. I've been so impressed with them. They've been better than I thought they were going to be. But away from home, they're not quite as good. Although that doesn't mean they shouldn't be expecting to win here, I just have a really weird feeling that I can't explain that Nottingham Forest win 2-1 here. Awoniyi's back now, which is a huge boost for him. Reckon he'll get on the score sheet. And yeah, 2-1, I'm saying it. Hopefully I don't look like an absolute mug when I react to this. Luton Town against Liverpool, another really controversial result here. I'm going 1-1. I actually think Luton Town are going to take points off Liverpool. At the start of the season, there's a lot of talk around the Kenilworth Road atmosphere and the fact that bigger teams might go there and struggle. I haven't done that so far. Tottenham went there and even with 10 men, won. And they were pretty comfortable. They had a lot of chances. Liverpool have been really good this season. A lot better than I thought they were going to be. But Luton have actually been alright on the road. They haven't really made Kenilworth Road that fortress that everyone thought they were going to. They haven't won yet at home. And this could be 5-1 to Liverpool. I could look like, again, an absolute mug when I react to this. But I do think that Luton have a chance here, a serious chance. And the final game, another massive game, another massive London derby. Tottenham Hotspur against Chelsea. Unbeaten Tottenham against sort of poor Chelsea. Like, the performances have been good, the results have been dreadful. It's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham are going to win 2-0, I think. I don't think this will be a whitewash in terms of performance. I think Chelsea will be in the game. They'll have players like Cole Palmer, like Madueke, Mudryk, who's been a lot better this season, Gallagher, who's been insane this season, one of the best midfielders in the league. But they've got Jackson up front and he isn't the man. He's not the clinical striker they need. And they will get chances because Tottenham like to play from the back and occasionally they will make mistakes. But they've got a very solid goalkeeper and a very solid defence. So even if they do make mistakes, they recover really well, and even if the defenders can't get there, Vicari usually pulls off a good save. It is a London derby though, and these games usually do mean that players sometimes find an extra gear. But as for Tottenham, they should be full of confidence. They're playing against a Chelsea team who are in mid-table, struggling for results. They're at home, they're playing really well. James Maddison's been the best player in the league this season, arguably the world this season. Heung-min Son, since being moved to striker, has also been really good. Yves Bissouma has been absolutely insane in the midfield as well. Van de Ven, Romero, both been really solid. Udogie might not play though, and that could be a big miss, especially if Palmer's playing out wide on the right, or Madueke is playing out wide on the right. Ben Davies struggled against Crystal Palace, had to get hooked up at half-time. For Emerson Royal, who provided a bit more solidity, but nowhere near as much as Udogie would provide. He's been the best left back in the Premier League this season. He's up and down. He can do everything, man. He's been so good. If Mudryk doesn't play, I don't think Chelsea have a chance because Porro is defensively not the best, and Mudryk could really hurt him because he is so explosive. He's been a lot better this season. He looks more confident. If he's not there and Sterling's there or whoever else is there, they're going to struggle. To be fair, defensively, Chelsea also have a mistake, and we saw that against Arsenal. I have said that Chelsea are going to do an Arsenal from a few years ago. They're going to be 15th or 16th around mid-December, but they'll come back in the second half of the season and finish 8th. I still believe that will happen. I don't think they're going to win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs just look way too good, and I believe they're going to win. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you soon when I react to this.